One take.
Hi, this is Drue Kataoka here for Valley Zen, the blog that I just launched with my co-blogger Bill Fenwick of Fenwick and West. And I'm having an impromptu interview with Guy Kawasaki, and he's launching a new site. And what do you know? It falls exactly into the category of what Valley Zen is about. Valley Zen is at the intersection of Zen and technology. And so I was wondering if you could just tell us what is Alltop. And it's so exciting. We're on the eve of this launch with you, Guy.
Yeah.
I mean, really on the cusp. I'm really feeling the energy.
Please. Alltop is a site that has a collection of topics where we do a single page aggregation of the topic. So I'll tell you the genesis of Alltop. So I have a site called Trumors, which contains human interest stories, rumors, and news. And one of the things that we notice is that it is on the Pop Earls site. Mm-hmm. And Pop Earls is a site that has Reddit and Dig and Delicious next to each other, and like 15 feeds next to each other, so you can see what all the news is happening. Mm-hmm. And we noticed in our server logs that Pop Earls sends us almost as much traffic as Google. So we thought, my God, this must be a very popular thing. So we looked at it and we said, yeah, this is very useful to be able to see, the 20 articles from Dig next to 20 articles from Reddit simultaneously. So then we said, well, boy, this is only for tech and business. So what other areas can we do? Similar idea, single page aggregation. So it immediately dawned us to do celebrities, because you don't want to miss the story that there's TMZ, there's Go Fug Yourself, there's Perez Hilton, so that's sort of the equivalent of Reddit, Dig, and Delicious. Mm-hmm. And so we put those three together, and then we kept going. So now there's about 35 sites that are together. All the top celebrity gossip sites are together on one page, and you can read all the gossip on one time. So then we said, well, okay, but maybe we should do something more serious. So then we did fashion. So now we have Women's Wear Daily next to W, next to the New York Times Fashion, next to the Budget Fashionista.
And you're looking very stylish and black today.
I planned it that way. And then we kept going. So we have gaming, we have sports, we have politics. Imagine if you're a real political wonk and you want to see what Ariana is saying versus Matthew Drudge versus Cause versus USA Today versus New York Times versus the 80 political blogs. So what we were trying to do, now I realize fully that a skeptic would say, wow, Guy, duh, I can do this with iGoogle, I can do this with my Yahoo, I can do this with NetVibes, I could do this with a feed reader, I could do this with efficient bookmarking and tabbed interface. And the answer to that is absolutely yes, you could. But our market is people who don't know what NetVibes or iGoogle or my Yahoo, don't know what a feed is.
It's a big piece of the pie.
I would say it's most of the pie. Right. And so, we don't think we're competing with that because it's so nice to just go to some place and have all 35 top celebrity gossip sites laid out for you. And I hope that's a principle of Zen, that it's done for you. You don't have to fight it and assemble it.
Well, one of the core principles is simplicity, and often underpinning simplicity is a great deal of complexity. And so what I would want to know is the interface looks very clean and very Zen, but tell us about what the technology is that's behind it. Like what's underneath the hood, so to speak.
What's underneath the hood is also kind of simple. I mean, it's simple to describe. We are taking the feeds of these 35 sites, and we're taking the most recent 5, and we check every 20 minutes or so from every site. What's the 5 most recent stories? And we display them. And if you mouse over any of the headlines, it gives you a little window, and in that window is the first paragraph of the story. So you don't need to click through to see the story. You can see the story as a preview.
I like that because, and you gave me the password, the password, so I could go in there and get a sneak preview, Silicon Valley sneak preview. And I like that because it's an elimination of a step. You're just removing one more barrier, and that's another principle of Zen. Elimination of what's non-essential, elimination of clutter, streamlining, and I think that as
Hallelujah.
people, hallelujah, hallelujah, you can bring some Zen gospel into
right.
into the picture. I like that because as you mouse over, you just can immediately float into those worlds.
We hope, yes.
And just access it, just intravenously.
So, you know, I'm sure when I announce it or when it gets public, you know, in 12 hours or so, many of the bloggers are going to say, you know, this is another stupid idea from Guy. I could do this in 15 minutes with Net Vibes. If I wanted to create a page like this, it would take me an hour using Rails, you know, blah, blah, blah. But that's not very Zen-like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think the essence of Zen is to tear down what other people do. Okay? So.
And off camera, we give you the inside view here at Valley Zen. Off camera, Guy is contradicting himself because he's telling me that it's good to be controversial. And it's great to
well,
push people
we have one very controversial topic. Well, I hope will be controversial topic.
The egos.
The egos. So we have a topic that's called egos, and it's just a collection of the blogs and sites of the most, or I won't say most egotistical. How about I say we have the collection of feeds from blogs and sites of the biggest mouths, the biggest names, and the biggest egos on the internet. And so you can see Scoble, Godden, Kawasaki, Trump, Cuban, Calacanis, Weiner, all next to each other.
And as we were having some drinks out there, you were telling me that you're going to push the envelope a little bit because either you're included in this wonderful group or you're not included.
Well, okay, so my theory is this. So lots of people will be pissed off to be included in this topic because
it's a statement.
It's a statement, right? You know, so lots of people will be pissed off. But my goal is that you're pissed off if you're in the list and you're pissed off if you're not in the list. Because if you're not in the list, that means you're not even on the radar. You don't matter. So, you know, maybe our business model will be the people who are not on the list have to pay to get in the list, and the people who are on the list have to pay to get off the list.
Wow, I think that's great. I like this, the energy flowing in both directions. It's very Zen.
It's the yin and the yang.
Yeah, that's right on the money, Guy. Another question I want to ask you is that, you know, in sumie, Japanese brush painting, that's my art form, one of the important principles is negative space.
Okay.
And that is that the space around the brush strokes,
the whiteness,
the white space, yes, the space between the brush strokes is as important as the brush strokes themselves.
I buy that.
So I want to know, what is the analogy to Alltop, if you will? Can you tell me what is the negative space in this technology?
Well,
what is the knot?
Well,
what is the knot?
The knot is, at a very simple level, the site is black type and color favicons on white space, right? Many of these single page aggregation sites are black, so they're trying to fill. There's not an inch of unfilled space. I define black as filled. I mean, you could say black is the void also, but so this site, it's kind of got Apple aesthetics, so it's white. And there's lots of space. We don't try to load things up. We have one little strip of photos just for sort of visual interest. We don't, you know, it doesn't look like, you know, just a bunch of crap thrown up there. We were very conscious about it. We're very conscious about the design. If anything, one thing that scares me is